Hey, 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 beautiful heart. What's vibing today? All right. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome, welcome. All right, guys. Quick PSA. Stranger danger. There are scammers out there. Keep yourself safe. Here's the thing. A legitimate energy light worker, reader, whatever you want to call us, we will never reach out to you in comments, DMs, however, and offer services, offer readings, say we have a message or, this, that, or the other. So, stranger danger, be aware, that is not me. I will never do that. The only way to get a reading from me or a counseling session from me is for you to go to my website and book yourself there. I'm not answering in DMs. You can also email me. You could get me that way. So it's either email or you going to my website. If you get approached on any social media platform, I don't care if it has my name, my picture, my videos, whatever. If they make the first contact to you, know that it is not me. So that's not how I operate. All right, you guys, so let's jump on in here in meditation. These cards started coming out and the message was very clear. So this may not be everybody's message. Then again, you may want to stick around till the end. For those of you who know my readings, the messages can switch up at any time. And the way that I do these readings, no matter what the situation is, what is going on, I want to show you how to take your power back. And the only person that you can control and be sure of doing things, that is you. So my readings are not designed that other people have power over you. My readings are designed to uncover what is going on in the subconscious, acting out via habits, thoughts, patterns, words that keep you stuck and in self-sabotage. So, all right, let's jump on in. We are starting with control. So at the top, we've got control, we've got conditioning, and we have friendliness. Right off the bat, what I felt with those three, and then the tarot backs it up, is you were conditioned from a young age via control. Now, this is a double-edged sword because you learned how to be controlled and you learned how to control. This was done via conditioning. It's been going on your whole life. And guys, for anybody who just got triggered on that, stay with me because this is something every single one of us has to learn to deal with in our own lives, because every single one of us, no matter how wonderful your childhood was or how horrible it was, we grew up in the matrix. We grew up in a duality programming. Because of this matrix and this duality programming that is counterfeit to truth and who we really are, control and conditioning is all part of it. So that's why I want to say this space here, there's no room for judgment. I teach about the 5 human habits. They are not welcomed here. Those are judgment, guilt, condemnation, blame, shame, and gossip. Blame and shame are in one. So none of that you'll get from here. And I teach you guys not to do that with yourselves because that's part of the control and conditioning, and we'll get into that. The friendliness. I do feel that for many of us, this conditioning and this control has been done under the guise of either friendliness, under love, under, and when I say under love, I'm talking Matrix 3D human love. For those who are new and may not be aware, we have our 3D self, our human consciousness, and we have our authentic self, our 5D and above self. So with that, we have a lower mind and a higher mind. We have a lower heart and a higher heart. Anytime I say lower mind or lower heart, that is talking about the human consciousness, the human conditioning. That always comes from the 5 human habits. It always will, because it was built out of those 5 human habits. It's a literal program. So how has this been playing out? Why is this relevant right now, especially with this full moon in Pisces? We have 7 planets in retrograde. All of this has been happening for you, not to you. So for those of you who are still in that feeling of, why is this happening to me? Right there, that is a false belief that you need to work on and switch, because this is happening for you. All of this past stuff, this foundational stuff coming up, it's not for you to relive it. It's not for it to stop you. It's literally here so you can see the truth, the energy behind all of it. Make a choice to do something different. So yeah, you've been dealing with some foundational, long-term stability type of energy playing out, limiting beliefs, things that make you feel burdened, overwhelmed, done, like you want to give up. You don't want to keep going. It's all too much. Keeps you in the 4 of Pentacles, the lack energy, holding on tightly, scarcity. All of this energy will kick up the subconscious control. It can play out in many different ways. One of the ways it will do it is overthinking, overanalyzing. And that comes out like projecting energy onto others. You know, you may be dealing with somebody that isn't acting right, talking right, treating you right, whatever it is. And you're over there thinking about it in your head, reminiscing. But that inner dialogue is about control. Well, if I reach out and say this, or if I do this, or if I ignore them, whatever it is, the process behind that, the thinking behind that, is you acting in a certain way, which is out of control, and conditioning and those 5 human habits to get somebody to do something the way that you want them to do it, the way you want them to say it, so your ego could feel better. Most of the time, we don't realize that self-sabotage and that's going on. So stick with me. You're aware of it at some level. I don't feel that this has been a huge aha moment. I feel that you've heard this over and over from various sources. And you intellectually believe it, but you haven't really made it real in your life yet. I still feel like you're going back and forth, having an issue making that decision. There's somebody in your energy, and it could be more than one, that you have a past with, you have history with, and they're watching. And for whoever just said, oh no, I haven't heard from them, they've ghosted me, blah, blah, blah. There's no way they're watching. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, they absolutely are watching. Your biggest challenge is getting your thoughts and your words and your inner dialogue on board with you regarding this person, these people, or the situations. Because you keeping your attention on what isn't, what could have been, should have been, all of that is keeping you stuck in this lack limiting cycle. It's not allowing you to move forward. This really feels like that cosmic two-step. You get some information, you really say, oh yeah, that makes sense. You start to apply it, and then, you know, it's like a hailstorm out of nowhere. You're getting pelted with a bunch of experiences or people acting up or whatever. Know that in that moment, that is your opportunity to prove to yourself that this new way of being, thinking, speaking really does work. But I feel like it's in that moment that you retreat. And that old habit of self-sabotage and sitting in the diaper of everything that's going on kicks back up. This is where the divine is coming in and saying, hey, you don't need to live like that. Look within, look up. There's a better way. There's a new way to do things. And this is about getting honest with yourself. Then we have the Queen of Wands here. Now, the Queen of Wands, yeah, she's the mistress of the tarot and things like that. For me, excuse me, the Queen of Wands is like, it's like the jealous stepmother energy. And hear me out. Whether, I'm not talking about if you have a physical stepmother that was jealous or envious or not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about metaphorically. Each one of us has this cruel stepmother within us. That is that human consciousness side. That's that self-sabotage. That's that inner critic. The one that tells you you can't do these things. Who do you think you are? It never works out. All of that. Each one of us has that part to us. And on this awakening journey, that is the part of ourselves we need to face. And that's when, you know, this energy kicks up. We're feeling overwhelmed and burdened because we're focused on everything that everybody else is doing and the analyzation of it and why they're doing this, when we should be asking ourselves, going within and saying, okay, this critical stepmother within me, that critical voice, what's it really trying to say? And when you peel back those layers and you have that courage to look, you're gonna see that that is the part of you that took on this conditioning, this projected energy from others. And you've learned to basically energetically beat the shit out of yourself. And that really is the source of your pain, your issues, your lack. It's your thoughts, your feelings, and your words about it. This is what is on tap for you to heal. This is why all of these different scenarios are coming up. If it feels like life is saying no to you every time you turn around, ask yourself, where are you saying no to you? There's no room for you to be cruel to yourself in your inner dialogue. The world is cruel enough as it is. You need to be your biggest advocate, your biggest cheerleader. That's what is calling out so you can rebuild this foundation. For some of you, I do feel that there is a covert narcissist in your energy. And guys, you may be the covert narcissist. Only you get to decide. And if you do feel that you might be covert narcissist, and hear me out, I'm not diagnosing anybody. Everybody has narcissistic tendencies. Doesn't mean you're a narc, okay? So hear me out while I'm saying that. Our human consciousness, our altered ego, is very narcissistic-like. It is born out of that same energy. But it's our responsibility to mature, see it for what it is, and take back our power and control, be gentle on ourselves, and love ourselves through this time. Let's see. I say yes to life, and life says yes to me. And I picked up on that. I know I mentioned this. It does feel like somebody is waking up in the morning, and instead of being in gratitude that you have another day to live in an abundant, magical life, literally just by going on the record and saying, I say yes to life, and life says yes to me. There's somebody watching and hearing this, that when you wake up, you immediately start to think about all the crappy shit from the past, and you start to complain and murmur about the day. You start making plans on how you're going to go through your day in this attitude of lack. So in other words, you're hoping for a change for the better, but you're planning for the worst. Guess what? That's dual energy. And the human consciousness, the lower negative vibrations, have more momentum. So you're going to end up manifesting more of what you don't want, more experiences of life saying no to you, because you're preparing for no. Start preparing for the yes. Be on record every day saying, I say yes to life, and life says yes to me. Guys, we don't have a lot of things in our life that we're trying to manifest because we haven't gone on record, we haven't acknowledged, and we haven't accepted, and we haven't qualified. So if you're not literally every day qualifying, saying, I'm saying yes to life, then you are automatically saying no to everything that you are trying to manifest. You can't have courage without fear. It takes a lot of courage to face ourselves. That's what you need to do. You need to go inward. You need to do the inner shadow work. So many people I've been watching and hearing this, especially throughout 2022, people have been saying, oh, I've been doing the shadow work. I've been doing the shadow work. But yet their life is showing, no, they're not. It's surface level shadow work. They're not getting down to the nitty gritty. You have a multi-body system that you have to clear all of this stuff on, 4 layers. And it gets intense. There's that knot of fear when we're doing the shadow work that makes us want to run away. It's in that moment, we're not supposed to run away. We're supposed to face it, because literally that fear, what you're going to find is a false belief, a limiting belief about yourself or life. That's what you need to face. And you can't have that courage to face it until you face the fear. The ego cannot truly know anything. The ego is the intellect. It's that side of life that thinks it knows everything, but it really doesn't. That's a whole other class that I'm not going to go into right now. The easiest way to figure out if you're coming from ego versus authenticity Ego will always come from the 5 human habits. It cannot come in any other way because it wasn't created in love. Altered ego was created out of the 5 human habits. So let's go over those again. Judgment, guilt, condemnation, blame, shame, and gossip. So if that internal dialogue has any of that energy behind it, it's ego. And that's the decision you need to make to discipline yourself and say, no, I'm not giving into this. I'm not giving into this. Go into gratitude and start to really go gentle on yourself and change that inner dialogue to all of the things that you like about yourself. You need to be your biggest cheerleader. And this outside validation that you're seeking, it's false. It's ego-based. You have to find it within yourself first. All right, Spirit. You and your loved ones are safe. Meditate and contemplate. Absolutely. All right, guys, I hope this helped. As always, I am sending you oceans and oceans of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. Bye-bye.